Where there is truth, love proliferates and changes an entire trajectory of all our brothers who together we seek, in the words of Jesus, the guide for our life, like. What is the use of gathering treasures on earth, since Jesus gave us the treasures of eternity, of the talents we have, and how we can, with these talents, improve the world by improving ourselves in our actions and living as Jesus taught us to live, one day at a time, but a well-lived day always, shaped in this vibration whose greatest essence is always love. It is love that reveals the innermost being in the most diverse dimensions and in the way each one walks, in the humility of Christ. He is present in the life of each one of us without any prejudice, without any demands, without requirements. How many are those who cry today for having wasted time? For the doubts that they insisted on keeping? By listening to others' opinions, a great phalanx gathers in the face of the changes announced for humanity. Holy Mary is bringing Christ again to humanity. Holy Mary is calling her children, the old disciples of Christ, for this planetary emancipation announced. Still, many cling to doubts, even with all they have seen and heard. In the inquiries of fear, many hide in the labyrinths of their minds, trying to conceal the call of Christ. God, the Christ of God, He makes His be present in this new annunciation, to this new cycle that our humanity begins to transcend. Those same three wise men, those beings materialized in light, transcending the message of the new Annunciation. They bring to the world the good news of Christ, establishing themselves on the doctrinal foundations taught by Jesus himself. Even if pain adds to their bodies, even if solitude in the face of the life objections each one faces, the light of the Christ of love makes rebirth happen in each one, the new desire of this new cycle. May our humanity in visions various friends and brothers gather once again within a great meeting called by Christ, prepared by Our Lady. Alongside those stalwarts who have already been on earth and who today, responding to the call of Christ, have presented themselves and presenting themselves to the tasks of expanding the power of the vibration of love to all the peoples of the world, to end the barriers created by the difficulty of linguistic understanding, making the vibration of love reach the hearts of those who do not understand the language of the origin of the message. Being in Portugal, we enter the sphere of work of our brothers, where the old Anthony of Padua, presenting himself humbly, bringing other brothers from the science of God in order to complement with the essence of love the vibration of knowledge through words, through the gaze, through the actions of each one. While some get lost in the lust of the world, the faithful disciples of Christ remain there strengthened and ultimately more resilient. And they no longer ask who it is, nor even where it comes from, because the message of Christ was and will continue to be spread to the kingdoms of the world. The Ark Tower of Babel, created by man, has already crumbled. The will of the planetary Christ, created the single word, which is captured by the vibrations of the brain, who understand perfectly through the absorbed vibrations that God is love. It is love that shapes the being in its journey. It is love that proclaims the truth in the actions that each one takes in the development of their life. It is love that stimulates work and brings competence through dedication and the purposes for which Christ is thanked. He entrusted each of the brothers to accomplish. Your intellectual preparation has a reason. In light of the mission that Christ gave you, your technical preparation has a purpose in light of the message of love, to restore balance and peace to the planet which today lives in turbulence, lives in war among peoples and brothers. The barriers are broken by Christ's determination, because it is time for humanity to know that the planetary Christ did not shape human beings to serve him, but gave them important lessons so that they may follow his steps, and even better, transform themselves. You are gods, he said, Christ, and the power of transformation will make you a safe harbor wherever you are. To all peoples and all groups gathered at this moment, breaking oceanic barriers, equatorial barriers, municipal, state, and local barriers, and local regulations around the entire planet, the beings of Christ's love act upon the hearts of those who have chosen, by the essence of the message that Christ gave them. Beloved brothers, more than 200 years ago, Most Holy Mary summoned us to a task now gathered under the astral. The guidelines brought to shield those who will be in strategic points under the protection of Christ, to give themselves in vibration, in words of love and understanding, without placing religious rites, dividers of peoples, in the agendas, to be spread by the brothers. The love of Christ unites. The madness of human beings separates. We walk with Christ. We will walk with Christ. We will follow the steps of Christ, because it is He, indeed, who governs this world. Everything else will pass. All this craving for power will pass. All these evils that human beings create will pass. Diseases will pass. Hunger will pass. Loneliness will pass. Depression will pass. Only love only love, which is the reason for joy, the joy of Jesus, always present among us. Jesus has always been, will always be, the joy of man. Open your hands. In all the places where you are gathered. Our brothers, the vibration comes from Christ. Receive it in your hearts. The struggle is always. But the struggle is not war. It is the conquest of new dimensions, of new fields, and more work. The Heavenly Father does not cease to work. We do not cease and will not cease. The work no matter how difficult it may seem, when love dwells within us, barriers break down, and a long and beautiful field emerges for you. To make from there your new field of work in this. Calm your hearts and minds. It is love that liberates. It is love that conquers. It is love that heals. It is love that exalts. It is love that obeys. It is love that acts through our hands. Love. It is the energy of the universe through vibrational synchronism, through the energy that completes itself, through the transformation of molecules, through the expansion of the energy of life. Love is more than anything than human conception can define it. Most holy,